I'm playing like good people, like high-level players in different prep schools, and it's just a better opportunity for me.
For me, what caught my eye was his mentality. He wanted to compete against anybody. Like, it didn't matter if the person was an adult, it didn't matter if it was a little kid, he wanted to compete. And he just loved the game. It didn't matter what it had to do, as long as it was basketball, he was down for it. If there's a way this young man could just bottle this up and keep this, the sky's the limit for him.
So since I went back to public school and now I'll be on the golf team, so I think it'll be more like a college atmosphere as far as like having school and then practice and that type of thing to get used to it for college. It's definitely weird, but it's not as much of a culture shock that I thought it would be. I thought I would be completely like lost, but I actually know my best friend's in my homeroom, and then I know like someone in all of my classes, so I haven't gotten lost yet. Back in the summer after freshman year, I had a huge list of like 15 schools, and most of them were southern schools because that's what I had always thought I wanted. And then the more I talked to them and got a feel for it, I ended up visiting schools mostly on the East Coast, a couple Midwest, and then Maryland wasn't really even on my radar for a while. I didn't really think much about it. I didn't know much about it, and then I just noticed the Maryland team on some website, and so I decided to call the coach. And so then she followed me in spring of last year, this spring actually. And then she was like, we want you to come visit. And so I visited, and I like fell in love with it. So it came out of nowhere, but it definitely just is what I wanted.
When we found this spot, it was just kind of by chance. The building was exactly what we needed. It had the space, clear span. And to be honest with you, it was almost out of necessity. We needed the space. And when I drove up here, I looked at it for the first time, like, this is perfect. It's kind of like our own place on top of the hill. When people hear Palmer, Mass, kind of like don't really know where it is. So I tell them it's exit 8, they get off, and it's got the little bit of a grunge feel where you see all of the, it's a gravel parking lot, metal building, and you come in and there's graphics everywhere. There's, pictures and a lot of color, and we take a lot of pride in the quality of our facility. So we do like that. It's something that, I think is unique for us, is that it's not convenient. So the people coming here really are coming for the information, and they're coming for what we truly stand for. They're not just coming because it's close.
I remember walking in, it was pretty much 3 cages, some green turf, and that's it. No graphics, no weight room or anything. And we were just hitting here, guys like Frank Cronella, myself, Justin Fermetta, guys like that who are from the area really came up with this place. Really, I think our following kind of grew a little bit because guys were having some success. It became more about the process, and guys started to not only embrace what we taught, but how we did it. Guys like to hang around together, and we started to really build kind of like a cultural thing.
He's got, kids in here from the age of 10 to 25, and Little League to literally Major League Baseball and everything in between. And from what I've seen and working with Pete for 6 months last winter, he works with Little Leaguers the same as he works with Major Leaguers, and that speaks to how crystal clear he gets his message across and how good of a communicator he is.
I feel like I have a lot of personal ownership in this building. I mean, I remember putting the weight room floor down with Pete in the early years, and bringing the weights in and painting the walls behind here, and I've just kind of seen it grow. And every time I come back, if I go play for a month or I go down to a trip or whatever, I come back and there's always something different. I always say new graphics, new signs, new paint on the walls. I mean, it's always developing, and that's a good metaphor for what we're doing here. I mean, it's really always changing, and a lot of other people I notice stay kind of stagnant with their philosophy.
We are so good at extracting ideas from people. I think that's one of the most challenging parts of actually making your product, is getting all those ideas that are floating around in your head onto paper so that we can then take it to a tech pack and actually get dimensions and specs on it. Once our clients have made their product, part of the process while you're making your product is to work on your brand. And we try to encourage our clients to do this simultaneously.
Fans are funneling into Value City Arena for tonight's Big Ten women's basketball matchup between the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Wisconsin Badgers. My name is Nate Rubinstein, alongside me George Reese, and we're going to send it over to our sideline reporter, Elizabeth Tuos, for the preview on tonight's matchup. Austin with it, over to Kraft, swings it over to Doss. Doss takes the three-point attempt, nothing but nylon. Alexa Hart finds Kay Kraft cutting, and she'll kick it out to Doss. Doss swings to the Mitchell. Mitchell, the three-pointer, good. Mitchell to Alston. Alston analyzing the defense. Giving the sauce to Simmons, up with the shot, good. Kissinger, the deep three. Downtown, Charlie Brown from Kissinger.
That's a
Kirkpatrick driving down the lane, up and no good. Mitchell pushing it. The no-look pass to Cooper, gets it to go. Kissinger, the deep three for Illinois, no good. Waterman on the rebound. Mitchell, another no-look pass to Cooper, and there we go again. Goes into the block, pulls it out, down baseline. Pulls back out, back to Amherst Alston, into Alexa Hart in the paint, swings it to Kay Kraft, back to Alston. Good ball move from the Buckeyes. Alston up, shot is no good, rebounded by Young, and here come the Badgers. Marble in the short corner, kicks it out to Bauman. Bauman looking inside, the deep three, downtown, Charlie Brown from Bauman.
The only Ohio State sports podcast made by students for students. The buck stops here.
Welcome to The Buck Stops Here, everybody. Episode 11. We are excited to go. We have a day full of basketball and football. First off, Nate's good buddy and extreme basketball fanatic Daquan Preach Knuckles will be joining us to talk first NBA, then some women's and men's Ohio State basketball action. Then, of course, we will have Tim Tully on to discuss Ohio State's 62-3 win over Nebraska, and then preview this upcoming week's game at Maryland. First, though, in some other news around Ohio State, some athletic highlights from the past week. Cassidy Sauvé shut out Lindenwood University on back-to-back nights for the women's hockey team. Those were 3-0 and 4-0 wins for the women's Ohio State hockey team. And also, Francesca Di Lorenzo, a sophomore on the Ohio State women's tennis team, defended her 2015 title at the USTA/ITA National Indoor Intercollegiate Championships at the Billie Jean King Tennis Center in Flushing, New York. In the final on Sunday, Di Lorenzo defeated Haley Carter of the University of North Carolina 6-1 and 6-1 in 2 sets for her third overall ITA national title. And those 2 titles in back-to-back years for Di Lorenzo are the first in Ohio State women's tennis history. Now we will be back with Daquan Knuckles.
If you'd like to ask The Buck Stops Here any questions, please contact us at thebuckstopshere@gmail.com or check out our Twitter page @BuckStopsHere8. Now, back to the show.